Herb Alpert is a cool guy. He's a trumpet player, an artist, an entrepreneur, a philanthropist, and a complete original. 1962 was a big year for the musician. He had heard about the sound-on-sound technique used by Les Paul to create How High the Moon with Mary Ford in 1951. Yes, the same Les Paul whose iconic guitar helped to define the rock and roll sound. The layering of recorded material would soon lead to multi-track recording, but Herb was able to replicate that with 2 tape machines and his trumpet. Being an LA native, he and a friend took in a bullfight near Tijuana. While there, Herb got the idea for a song using the sound-on-sound technique and a rhythmic feel that had an across-the-border vibe. Releasing the tune called The Lonely Bull, it featured Alpert playing multiple trumpet parts on one song. The instrumental track was complete with sounds of a bull ring and a cheering crowd. Alpert had a hit. But in order to take advantage of touring and playing the song live, to which only Herb had done all the parts, he needed to form an ensemble. This would become known as Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass. Finding a record label was no problem. That same year in 1962, he and his friend Jerry Moss were starting a new independent label in Los Angeles. They called it A&M Records. And starting in 1966, it was located on the grounds of the historic Charlie Chaplin Studios in Hollywood. With the hits coming from the Tijuana Brass, the two established an impressive roster of artists in just a few years. And Herb would have several #1 hits throughout his career with the instrumental ensemble of the Tijuana Brass. The style was very unique, described as a combination of jazz and pop that had merged mariachi with Caribbean and South American Latin grooves. One of his most successful albums was Whipped Cream and Other Delights from 1965. The songs A Taste of Honey and Whipped Cream became major hits, along with an album cover that was as alluring as the music. The tunes from the album became so popular, the song Whipped Cream was used on the very popular TV show The Dating Game. And in 1967, Alpert, along with his Tijuana Brass, provided the theme song for the James Bond film Casino Royale. But he wasn't done yet. In 1968, he'd sing the vocals on a Burt Bacharach and Hal David song, This Guy's in Love with You. And yes, another #1 hit. As his work with the Tijuana Brass slowed down in the 1970s, Herb continued to sign on more artists to the A&M label. He didn't stop creating art and music, though. As a painter and as a musician, he continued his work. In 1979, he would have another hit with the song Rise, thanks in part to the tune being played on the soap opera General Hospital. His work with artists and A&M Records continued in earnest until the label sold in 1999. But in the new millennium, Alpert continued to create amazing music. In 2013, he released yet another award-winning album called Steppin' Out, which won a Grammy for Best Pop Instrumental Album. Alpert has won a total of 8 Grammy Awards, as well as a Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award. He's been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and was awarded the National Medal of Arts in 2013. He's known as well as a philanthropist, creating the Herb Alpert Foundation and the Alpert Awards in the arts. When he's not hanging out at his well-known restaurant and jazz club in Bel Air, California, Alpert still tours and records, mostly with his wife and successful musician in her own right, Lonnie Hall. But the thing that makes this 88-year-old, soon to be 89, even more cool is that he just released his 49th studio album, Wish Upon a Star, just in time for Christmas. This legendary trumpet player and musician has sold over 72 million records, had 5 #1 hits, and rather than slowing down at all, he's planning to tour for 2024. Watch for his amazing show to come your way and get a ticket to see and hear a legend. After all, he's still cool, at least in my book.